going to show you a super simple recipe today for making a roasted sausage and vegetable sheet pan meal. It's only going to take you one pan. It's going to take about 5 minutes of prep and about 20 minutes of cooking time. It's the perfect thing to make if you're looking to eat healthier, but you have kids and you're super busy and you don't have lots of time to spend on making gourmet meals. So let's get started. Onion, bell pepper, zucchini, 1 bag of frozen cauliflower, which is my secret trick for roasting veggies without having to do all the prep, and a package of 12 ounces of, this is chicken, pre-cooked chicken sausage. Pre-cooked is what you want because we're just going to slice it up and roast it. And then we're going to make a dressing that goes on top. All of it's going to go in the oven at 425, and then our meal is going to be ready to go. If you have a hungrier family, I'm going to tell you about it while I cut up these onions, and everything's going into bite-sized pieces. If you have a hungrier family and vegetables and sausage aren't going to be enough to satisfy them, then I would suggest either adding some potatoes, which can make cooking take a little bit longer, or serving with a side of something like quinoa, which is something I'll often do. Quinoa only takes about 15 minutes to cook, and that's about how long this is going to be roasting. So if you got the quinoa into the pan at the exact same time as you were putting everything in the oven, you would have a perfect, like, balanced bowl type style meal to serve your family. It's a secret, I have a baby sitting over to the side eating some lunch. So this meal is so easy and fast that you can even do it while your kids are on hand. And this pan is slippery. So first we're chopping everything up. Using a nice big cutting board is going to allow you to do this more easily and to keep everything a little bit separate, though you certainly don't have to. We're going to do our zucchini. All of these were rinsed ahead of time, but I didn't grab the stickers off. You could do a couple of zucchini if you wanted. I like to go down the middle and then down the middle again. Those are both lengthwise, and then just chopping it across. Remember that your efficiency of chopping at home and your precision is not important, except that it makes sure that everything cooks evenly. So I like to do just kind of a rough chop, but trying to stay roughly the same size to make sure. Bell peppers I always cut off the bottom and then cut down the sides, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. It allows you, without getting in there with a paring knife or in detail with your hands, to make the most of your bell pepper and also end up with everything left in the middle. These are going to be bite-sized. You can hear my tiny helper over there. He'll probably make an appearance next. Show you just how easy this is. So we have everything chopped up. The cauliflower is already nicely chopped in here. I like this frozen cauliflower. We're going to slice the sausages. So this brand is Idell's, the artichoke garlic. You could use chicken apple. You can really use whatever your family likes. If you like spicy, we've used andouille in the past, which is super yummy. And like I said, it doesn't have to be chicken, but it should be pre-cooked, because otherwise you're not going to be able to cut it into slices the way that I'm going to, which is what helps it to roast. If you have a nice sharp knife and a big hand, you can hold them all together at once and just chop them into slices. If you are feeding this to kiddos, sometimes I'll just go back and chop them into smaller pieces later, or you could be more precise in the beginning, but you can hear that I have a ticking time bomb, so I'm going to do it as fast as possible. Just as I suspected, we have this unasked for but always welcome helper. You moms and dads who are cooking this meal quickly because you're busy with kiddos will recognize this. So the only part you can't do of this meal holding a kid is chopping. I haven't figured out how to do that one-handed yet, but we're going to do everything else one-handed because life, reality, right? So everything just goes onto the sheet pan together, which is one of my favorite things about this. There's no need to be like finicky or exact. The only thing I would say to be careful about is you do want a sheet pan that's large enough to hold everything in pretty much a single layer, because that's how it's going to get the best browning roast on it. I find if you pile things up too heavily, then it can get a little bit more steamed than like having those nice brown edges. So we've got our onion and our sausage and our bell pepper, and our zucchini. Does this look yummy? Yummy? We're gonna spread the frozen cauliflower out. I will give you this caveat. If you have pre-chopped cauliflower, using unfrozen will still happen in the amount of time it takes for the sausage to brown. It has a little bit better of it gets a little bit browner because it doesn't have the water content. But for my money, frozen cauliflower is a great deal. I got this organic bag for, I think it's like $2.99 or something at Whole Foods. Don't quote me on that. It's really nicely chopped up and I don't have to do any of the cleaning either. And it's especially good for one-handed. I know, but you can't eat frozen cauliflower. And then I'm just gonna get my hand in there and mix it all around, making sure it gets into that single layer. And then we're gonna make the dressing together. Are you gonna help me make the dressing? Dressing? Okay, a mason jar is your best friend for making homemade dressings. I always work with a ratio of half as much vinegar as I have oil, and mason jars are awesome for measuring because they have these markers on it. So today I'm using apple cider vinegar. You could use any other vinegar you have. I've used balsamic, you could use lemon juice, anything sort of acidic. So I'm using 2 ounces of vinegar. Then I'm going to use up to the 6-ounce mark of oil. So that means I'm putting 4 ounces of oil in here and 2 ounces of vinegar. You can see how that's half as much vinegar as you have oil. And then a squeeze of mustard. I just think mustard goes with sausage, and you could totally top this meal with sauerkraut. Oops. And have it be like a full thing. Okay, hold on. And then a pinch of salt. You can add more salt on top later, so I don't worry too much about it. And then some pepper. And if this feels like too much dressing after you've tossed everything with it, no need to use it all right away. You can store it in the fridge for about a week, and you could use this on like your salads that you make. I love to make mason jar salads and use this in it. You help me shake? Shake, 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 shake. Okay, we're gonna spread, pour it over here. Ooh. Great, so now we're gonna put this into the oven at 425 degrees for about 20 minutes, just checking for browned edges on our vegetables and sausage. Pretty much everything's ready to go. The cauliflower needs to defrost, the veggies need to cook a little, and the sausage is just warming up too. So 20 minutes is a rough time frame. You're just gonna keep an eye on it to see when it's done. I'll show you what it looks like. So it's been 20 minutes, this just came out of the oven, and I wanted to show you what the final dish looks like. You can see that the cauliflower has a little bit of browning on it, the sausage has gotten some of that roasted browning as well, and the onions and zucchini and bell peppers are almost melted. It has all that great flavor from the dressing that we made. And if you got quinoa, you can just serve this right on top for a complete meal. I hope you enjoy.